Let's go into the charts. Let's go into Bitcoin. What did I say when I streamed on Friday? Let me go and have a look. I like to go and have a look at my previous streams just to kind of get a little recap of what I was saying before. Oh, why did that do that? It's weird. There you go. Oh. I mute it so I don't want to hear myself at the moment. There you go. So that was it. That was the breakout. That was the breakout plan. You see that? It was at 115,130. Where are we at now? So we did get a little bit of a breakout, didn't we? It looked like there was a little bit of a breakout there. It went all the way up to 116,600. Okay. Let me just kind of hide these things. Let me just kind of put this away. Hide those. Let's kind of redo this. I think I've got this indicator on. I'll turn that off. Update the volume as I always do. Volume is really important. Okay, so we haven't hit the point of control yet. Little front run off the point of control. Let's have a look at these candles. Look at that. Decreasing prices, decreasing volume. It's weekend volume though, usually it does decrease. Really strong 3-day candle. Little pullback now. Increasing prices, increasing volume on the 3-day candle chart. The weekly is looking really bullish. And if you remember, I did talk about this weekly piercing, huh? Where did I post it? Yeah, here I posted it here. Look at this. Piercing candle setup. See that? 6 days ago. I was talking about. Have a look here. I thought it could go up and down, or I kind of. Weekly candle analysis. I was talking about that being a piercing candle. So anyway, not to kind of not to go back to the past, but that was a weekly piercing candle. This is a green candle. This is a full-on reversal. We've effectively reversed this candle here. We're back into this candle here. See that? And we're back above this level. So this is a really important level. So that's kind of what I want to do. I want to kind of just mark out this level here. That one. We're back above that level. I think that's a really important SR flip. Just looking at the weekly time frame. I'll mark it down. Now that we're back, then what you can argue is that this was a deviation from this higher range. Even though that was a failed auction, the reality is the prices managed to get back into that higher range. That was a higher range. We lost it because we lost this pivot high, which was a previous all-time high. And then we're back above it. And so naturally what you want to see now is for that previous all-time to hold a support, because you can see that that was an SR flip. See that SR flip? It was resistance because it was a pivot high, all-time high, that became resistance, and then we back tested it as support. So now that we've lost it, we want to get back, we're back above it. Now it has to hold the support. If it holds the support, then you can imagine the price will fly. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. Just looking at these candles, that's what I'm thinking. Looking at the monthly candle, look, we're into a monthly level now, so we're into resistance right now. We haven't quite hit the point of control, so there's a little bit of a front run going on. And potentially next month we could pull back all the way down to this SR flip, which I've indicated, and then fly potentially. So we're looking at a bit of a reversal here in the altar in price discovery. And so I'm kind of actually thinking to myself that I'm not sure when. We're only halfway through September. I'm not sure how this is going to play out exactly, because we're getting a little bit of a resistance here right now on the monthly level. Let me just see how that, just bring these levels back in. Don't know why I didn't mark it. Yeah, there it is, monthly level. See that? See that? So we're kind of, and actually you see that monthly level is being washed. So it's not respected. There is resistance, but it's not being respected. You see that? So it's gone through it. It's come back underneath it. But that level is a liquidity level, but it's being washed. And usually what that means is the price still wants to, can still go up. So you're not getting much selling from that level. And when that happens, usually the price continues. Let's have a look at this local volume, because I haven't updated that as well, because we're back into this higher range. I've got the higher range volume. I'm going to just mark out this local volume here. So the point of control is in the same place. The value area low of this local volume is a bit lower. I will mark that out. And I'll get rid of these now. Okay. And then the other thing, the other liquidity levels that I want to kind of bring to mind. The single prints. Got a little front run on that CME gap into the front run of that daily level. And so we have a little bit of resistance higher up. Slightly higher up. So there's a little bit of a front run going on, but it's not convincing. The volume is low on the way down. So I still think we're probably going to go higher. Get rid of these single prints now. We have this SR flip lower down here. Potentially. And whatever happens, that has to hold. It's you have a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here. Can you see that? Which I kind of indicated on Bitcoin. And it is possible that we front run the SR flip, go down, and then explode. Or we go up, then down, then explode, you know. So there's options here. Depending on if this is the pivot higher, if we go up again, push up to clear that liquidity. And ideally what you want, if you want an explosive move to the upside, you really want to clear that liquidity in the first instance. Because if you can clear the liquidity, then the second time we go up, there is no liquidity to resist. And at the moment, you see there's a whole bunch of liquidity there that hasn't been touched. And so it would be nice to go up first. Reject. Go down. Find support. And push up. Flip that point of control into support. And then we have a chance to consolidate and break up. Who knows? No one really knows what's going to happen. So none of this is financial advice. So I'm still thinking about a short down to the value area low. The long is a reaction based long. And something like that. It's kind of what's on my mind. There is a kind of steep trend line here. Really steep, and then probably break down, find support, and then kind of break up again. Get people bearish, then smash up because people are seeing that we're back into the range. When you lose a range and you get back into it, that's bullish. That's like a sign of strength. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. This is the range. We lost it. We're back into it. That's a sign of strength. Yeah. It's a sign of strength followed by a sign of weakness. And that's kind of makes you bullish. Yeah. When you have bearishness failed, that's bullish. People are going to be bearish because they're going to be looking at the market structure. They can be going low lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, etc. Potentially, yes, because there is a lower low here. And so the caveat here is if you lose this level, if you fall out of the range and you backtest this SR flip, then you're going down, and then it becomes really brutally ugly. And if that happens, then you actually have, instead of longing it, because the longs will get stopped out, you'll end up shorting because you're back underneath this pivot here. And that's the caveat. And in that circumstance, if that happens, you end up shorting. And so if you don't short there, you end up shorting here. And then it's going to look really brutal. Yeah, really brutal. And then you're probably heading all the way down, probably. All the way. And then you're basically in a bear market if this starts to play out in a bearish way. So ideally the short is there. And then obviously take profit. And then if it continues, and then you're in a really good short. But if you miss that, then the next short would be this major SR flip that I think could play a key role in what happens next for the price to go up or the price to go down. So actually, at the moment, it's really looking really bullish. Okay. And I mean, even though, I mean, some altcoins are pumping, but we are in alt season. But when you look at the red, you wouldn't think so, huh? And so we're not like in the crazy alt season, are we? Just look at ETH. It's kind of range bound, is going up and down. ETH BTC is kind of going up and down. Let's have a look at BTCD. Look at that. It wants to fall, doesn't it? It wants to go down. It wants to. Yeah, the 3-day candle closed lower. It's looking really bearish. Today we're getting a little bit of pullback on BTCD. So anyway, that's Bitcoin. I hope that helps. If anyone is interested in Bitcoin, I'm just kind of, not financial advice, just giving you some ideas of price action and price movement. A couple of trade ideas. If people are interested. And ultimately with these trade plans, you only risk 0.5 or 1%. You have a very clear invalidation based off a reaction, a local stop loss pivot, and then you take your profit, and then you have a risk-free trade. That's how you do it. You don't mess about and go all in or all out or whatever. It's just mental. Marty is here. Nice one, mate. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. You good? So this is kind of how I would play it. For now, I kind of feel like we've got to go up a bit more to clear that liquidity for a short down to that level. And then if you hold support, then there's a nice long there. Otherwise, you lose that SR flip. The SR flip's really important. Then we're basically going down. That's kind of how I would consider this price action at the moment. And take it from there, really.